Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and we are just days away from our first two-night SummerSlam in SummerSlam history. A huge mega card to go over, but before we get into all that, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button, as I do produce weekly wrestling content here on this channel. So, SummerSlam Saturday, let's start with Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is getting a major PLE match. That is huge. Now, the only question here is he going to re-sign with the WWE? Because this could be one of the last times, or the last time we see Karrion Kross, depending on if the WWE does re-sign him to a new deal. And obviously, he's been getting a lot of new merchandise. He's been getting a push on TV. But again, you have to remember, WWE released R-Truth after R-Truth was in a match against John Cena. So, it's not to say that they can't release Karrion Kross despite releasing all this new merchandise and stuff for him. But he's been feuding with Sami Zayn for the last couple months, and Sammy's whole thing is, dude, I'm done with you. I want to go for the world title. And Kross is like, dude, you're a bad guy. I need you to tell me that I'm right. And in this scenario, I would love to see Kross get the win, but I think they're just going to have Sami win the rubber match here, and Sami Zayn will move on from Karrion Kross. For the Women's Championship, we have Tiffany Stratton defending against the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill. Now, for a lot of fans, now this is nothing against Tiffany Stratton or Jade Cargill. I think both are great performers and great athletes in that ring. But for a lot of fans, the hype around this match was the potential of a Naomi cash-in. So I do hope that Jade and Tiffany go out there and put on a great match to really quiet the doubters that were like, hey, this isn't going to be a good match, or I'm not looking forward to it. So hopefully in that scenario, Jade and Tiffany go out there and put on a great match, quiet all the doubters. But in the grand scheme of things, I think this is the moment the WWE has been waiting on to crown Jade Cargill at the top of their women's division. And then this really, with Bianca being injured, there's a lot you can play off of if Jade Cargill wins. I feel like we've seen everything with Tiffany Stratton. Now we can kind of go into what Jade can do, all the challengers for Jade Cargill, and as I said, the story with Bianca. And in honor of this next match, I specifically put on my SummerSlam 2023 event t-shirt because it was 2 years ago. I was in Detroit for Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, Bloodline Rules, and man, oh man, to see where Jey Uso has come since that match. To him, he's been the world champion. Now he's teaming with Roman Reigns 2 years later to take on B&B Security, and I have to talk about the ending of Raw because man, oh man, if Seth Rollins is injured, and I'll talk more about Seth when I talk about the world title matches. If Seth is injured, push Braun to the top. Like, whoever wins between Punk and Gunther, start building Braun Breaker up to face whoever. Like, if there's a chance that Seth is going to be out for like a long period of time, if Seth is going to potentially miss WrestleMania, just move Braun Breaker into that role and push Braun into the main event scene for that world title on Raw. And I think that would allow the WWE to kind of play with what happens when Seth comes back. And man, I don't want to say this is Edge getting kicked out of the Judgment Day type of situation, but something about this group without Seth Rollins works a lot better. And that's not nothing against Seth. But I don't know. It just looked like what we saw on Raw, the destruction and Bronson's obsession with Roman's shoes. Just everything about that was so good. And it looked like finally we can actually see where this group can go. Especially with Paul Heyman as the mouth, for Braun and Braun. So I would love to see them win here. And honestly, I think they do. Look, Roman Reigns is going to be going off filming Street Fighter, so he's only back for like a couple weeks. And we've already seen him take out Roman Reigns before, and I really liked what Michael Cole said on Raw. It's the future, the young guns trying to take out the old guard. And you know what? Let's do that with Braun, and maybe you preserve Braun Breaker pinning Roman Reigns for like a WrestleMania, but just have Braun Breaker pin Jey Uso and have them win the match. Because again, I think if you go with the story of wanting to take out the old guard, that makes a very compelling story for when Seth Rollins, who fits into the old guard, for Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Then we have Randy Orton teaming with Jelly Roll against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. And now, as of the making of this video, Drew McIntyre is still, as far as we know, stuck in the UK. I've not read anything. I checked before I filmed this video of an update on Drew McIntyre. And yeah, he's stuck in the UK. So he may not make it to SummerSlam. Now, he may need to just get a direct flight from the UK to New Jersey, New York, so he can get to SummerSlam on time. But yeah, I mean, Drew McIntyre being out is going to play a huge role into this match because, again, I would imagine in this scenario that probably Logan Paul is going to take the pin. We were probably going to get Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre at Clash in Paris, is what I'm guessing we were going to get, and that this was going to build to that. So I'm going to pick Randy Orton and Jelly Roll to win the match. And regardless of who his partner is, whether, The Miz has come out on social media, made a video, said he will take Drew McIntyre's place if Drew can't make it back in time. So the Women's Tag Team Championship, you have Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss against Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Man, I hate it for Liv Morgan. SummerSlam being in her home state of New Jersey, her being injured. This would have been a huge moment for Liv Morgan to go out there and perform in front of her home state. And so, yeah, I think we're going to get Charlotte and Alexa, allies of convenience, to win the women's tag team titles. I thought, based on the crowd reaction at Evolution, they should have just called an audible and had Charlotte and Alexa win there, but I think they wanted to crown them at SummerSlam. I think at a major show like SummerSlam. So Charlotte and Alexa will win and become the women's tag team champions. And moving on to SummerSlam Sunday. See, I'm still trying to process this being a 2-night event. SummerSlam Sunday, Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Before Monday Night Raw, I would have said AJ Styles was going to win. Hell, even more so when Dominic Mysterio is a part of this triple threat match for the AAA Mega Championship, which I think Dominic Mysterio might win. So I thought it made sense to have AJ take the Intercontinental title off of him, and Dom can go and win the AAA Mega Championship. But now AJ Styles pinned Dom on Raw, and that's usually not a good sign heading into the pay-per-view or the PLE. So I'm going to go with Dominic Mysterio to retain over AJ Styles. I think we might maybe see Finn Balor get involved and help AJ or help Dom retain the championship. Maybe JD. But either way, I think Finn Balor. So either way, I'm taking Dominic Mysterio to retain the championship. The Women's Intercontinental Championship, no disqualification. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch made it so that Lyra cannot challenge her for the title for as long as she is champion, if or when Becky Lynch beats Lyra Valkyria. So this is interesting to me because it's a no disqualification match. So there's no Bayley on the SummerSlam card. So with Bayley, with this being a no disqualification match, this lines up perfectly for Bayley to get involved. And you have that stipulation of Lyra not being able to challenge Becky no longer afterwards, right? So this allows new challengers for the Intercontinental Championship if Becky were to retain. While you have Bayley, who is kind of getting frustrated. She's not on the SummerSlam card. She missed WrestleMania. So what if she helps Becky retain, knowing that Lyra is one less contender for that championship she has to worry about? So it doesn't have to be a complete heel turn, but it's more of a, look, she can't challenge for the title as long as Becky's the champion, so that's one less contender that Bayley has to worry about. And again, this opens up new challengers for the title. And I think if there's a draft coming up or whatever, with the roster shakeup, you could move Lyra over to SmackDown and kind of give her a fresh start over there if she loses. So I kind of want to go with Becky winning. There's part of me that thinks Lyra might win. But yeah, I'm going to go Becky Lynch here, wins and retains the championship because of Bayley. And I think we'll get a Bayley and Becky feud moving forward. Steel cage match for the United States Championship. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu. Now, Jacob Fatu is looking to get his United States Championship back that he won at WrestleMania. And, well, what do you do with Solo if you have Jacob win? Like to me, I've seen the idea that people will say, well, they want to crown him at another major show, which is great. But then what do you do with Solo afterwards? And I feel like, with them bringing in new members of the family, and there is a possibility that we could see that happen here. I question, if you put the title back on Jacob, what do you do, right? I feel like there's more to tell with Solo winning and retaining the championship than there is Jacob winning, because then you go, what do you do, right? So I'm going to go Solo Sikoa wins, and honestly, just because of Jesse Ventura, I would have Solo walk out the cage door to win it. The Women's World Championship match, Naomi defends against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Now remember, the winner of this match has a match with Stephanie Valkyrie, who won the Evolution Battle Royal at Clash in Paris. So I feel like any of these three women fits into that match, because it's like Rhea versus Stephanie, Io versus Stephanie, even Naomi versus Stephanie. All three are great options for Clash in Paris. But I do think Naomi does retain. She needs to win here. And yeah, honestly, again, like if there is a draft, like you can move Io to SmackDown, Rhea to SmackDown, both of them, one of them, whatever, kind of freshen up the scene on Monday Night Raw. Plus, you have Bianca, maybe, who is a SmackDown star, so maybe you move her to Raw. There's a lot of things you can do to freshen up the title scene. So I think to me, Naomi will retain the championship here. And then we have a 6-pack TLC match. 25 years ago, the Dudleys, Hardys, Edge and Christian, SummerSlam 2000 TLC match. Now, 25 years later, the biggest TLC match in WWE history. You have, and I have to look at this here on my computer screen, the Wyatt Six, the Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits, DIY, Fraxium, and Andrade and Ray Phoenix. And honestly, like, you can't go wrong with any of these tag teams. Like in a booking, like usually when it comes to wrestling, in a booking scenario, there's like the best case scenario, the worst case scenario. But you can't go wrong with any of these teams. Like, how do you predict this match? Like, you can keep the titles on the Wyatt. You can give it back to DIY. You can give it the Motor City Machine Guns, the Street Profit, Fraxium, Andrade, and Ray Phoenix. Like, you can give it to any one of these teams. And I think we'd all be happy. So, I'm going to go and pick Fraxium. I think, to me, we've seen Motor City Machine Guns with the tag titles, Street Profits with the tag titles. I think they want to push a new team, a new younger team. And I think that is going to be Fraxium. Even though I do like the pairing of Andrade and Ray Phoenix, I think it's going to be Fraxium's time to shine. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the World and WWE Championship matches as CM Punk takes on Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, while we have John Cena and Cody Rhodes in a street fight. I'm surprised that match isn't sponsored by the Street Fighter movie that they're going to be filming, or that Cody Rhodes is going to be filming after SummerSlam. But both matches have a possibility of a Seth Rollins cash-in. And when you have that lurking in the background, it makes you think in terms of predictions like, man, is Punk going to walk away with the championship, or is Seth Rollins going to come out and cash in? John Cena wants to ruin wrestling. Seth Rollins has said he wants to save wrestling. So he could cash in on either one, right? So, to me, I'm taking CM Punk to win the world title to close out night one. I think for me, Seth's injury is too much of the shuffling of the SummerSlam card has been shuffled way too much for me to believe that this is a work injury. Because I feel like the original plan, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, probably was the idea here. With Jey Uso and LA Knight, who is nowhere to be seen on this card, going up against B&B Security. And fans have been dying for a Seth Roman singles match. And why on earth would you take that away for a worked angle? Like, why would you do a work injury and take away one of your biggest matches when we have the first ever two-night SummerSlam and taking away a big match like that just for a work angle, for a work cash-in, doesn't make any sense to me. So I think CM Punk will walk away with the World Heavyweight title over Gunther. That will close out night one. Cody Rhodes, John Cena, the main event of night two. Look, I think there's a strong possibility of John Cena retaining here, but I think Cody Rhodes is going to win. I think the WWE is going to want to start that turn for John Cena to get him to go being a babyface again. And also, there is that possibility too. John Cena being a Grand Slam champion, he needs the Intercontinental Championship, and maybe you move Dominic and you keep that Intercontinental Championship on Dominic Mysterio to have John Cena take the title off of Dominic Mysterio at Clash in Paris to become a Grand Slam champion. Or the idea here, I don't know. I mean, I like it, but title for title. John Cena versus AJ Styles. If AJ Styles wins, let's do John Cena versus AJ Styles title for title at Clash in Paris. Who says no to that, right? But again, I think they want to turn John Cena babyface. I think they want to kind of make amends for everything that happened with the John Cena heel turn at WrestleMania, and I think they want to have Cena and Cody go out there and put on a much better match than what we got at WrestleMania. So for me, I'm just going to say Cody Rhodes wins. And yeah, he's going out to film Street Fighter, which again tells me that Seth Rollins was a possibility of a cash in here. I think the idea plan was for Seth to cash in on Cody and Cena, because I think that would have been the way to turn John Cena babyface. Is you have this villainous group with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, like just destroying both Cody Rhodes and John Cena, and that is how you turn John Cena babyface, so he can finish his retirement tour as a babyface. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, look, John Cena is scheduled for the SmackDown after SummerSlam, so I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't know when Cody Rhodes is going to be filming Street Fighter, but I think at the end of the day, I think the WWE wants this 2 night SummerSlam to be like this big happy ending moment for them, and I think that is going to be with CM Punk winning the World Heavyweight title Saturday night and Cody Rhodes getting the championship back at SummerSlam Sunday by defeating John Cena and once again becoming WWE Champion. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think will walk away the world champions at SummerSlam? Do we see Seth Rollins cash in on either CM Punk, John Cena, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, whoever? Let me know in the comments below who you think will win. And as always, I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.